So this vid is all about the things that chiropractors do better than physios. And this is a vid, it's tough to make because I went to school to train as a physio, and in a lot of ways I have some dislikes for chiropractors. In fact, if I had to choose from seeing anybody, I'd see a physio, number one. And number two, that really is the thing. I don't exactly agree with everything they do, but here's 3 things that they do that in so many ways is better than what physios do. And there's 3 things here. The first one, this is really common and it just amazes me that we haven't picked it up. Chiropractors do adjustments, physiotherapists do manipulations. Now, just to give a bit of background, whenever you grab someone's neck, when you crack their neck, when you crack their back, that kind of thing, that technical term for that is called manipulation in the physiotherapy world, and it's called adjustment in the chiropractic world. There's obviously some other terms, but this is where the marketing of it is just terrible on physiotherapists' part. I could not imagine anybody walking by a clinic and then seeing on the front door, "Come in, we do manipulations." Like, to me, it just doesn't make any sense, because who wants a manipulation? It just sounds creepy. So that's one thing. On the other hand, too, with an adjustment, if you were to get an adjustment, it actually, to any common folk, you walk in, you think, "Oh, I pulled my back. I think I messed something up there. Oh, I could get an adjustment. I could get it snapped back into place and then walk on out of there." And although a lot of us know that isn't really what's happening, but the reality is you're more likely to walk in when you hear that kind of stuff. And that's one thing that they do incredibly well. We honestly need a better term than manipulation. And just another thing too, which is kind of interesting, is we have a federation, or the physios have a federation known as the International Federation of Manipulative Physical Therapists. Right? It just sounds weird. So, nothing bad to say about those people as a whole, but they got to work on their labeling, honestly. And the second thing that chiropractors do is better than physios is they got a lot more balls in general. These guys, I dare you right now to just pause this video and then type in ring-dingers, that's R-I-N-G space D-I-N-G-E-R, and you'll see some pretty crazy stuff out there. You'll see some stuff that you probably wouldn't want to try on your little brother. But at the same time, these are practicing professionals with rehab that are willing to actually take that risk. And they'll put themselves out there. They'll try something that's a little harder, a little more riskier. And while this might result in more lawsuits, the positive is that they're gonna hit those people who really need a bit more force in their treatments in order to get better. And on the other hand, physiotherapists, in general, not always, but in general, they're a lot more softer, a lot more timid. And I think a lot of it is because in school we're taught these things that really aren't always true, but we're taught this. For example, one thing, and anybody who went to school with me would know this, we're taught that if you're bending a joint at all to work on something, then the finger will be the joint. If it hurts to go to this point, you should never push to this point. Never. And that's what they teach us. So it's no wonder that so many of us are willing to go lighter, because we just realize that it's going to hurt if we go even further and it's going to make them worse. The reality is it may or may not, but the fact that at least chiros have the balls to go past that, these guys do not shy away often from going past the point where it hurts. And then some. Like somebody could have a sore back and they'll actually work on that spot where it's sore. But in their defense though, they might actually get better from that. Their clients might actually get better. So it's not all wrong, but I respect them for actually for their willingness to take the risk. Then the third one, and this is something that is both a weakness and an advantage at the same time, is chiropractors are less likely to follow scientific evidence. And by that I mean that they don't need to always follow the typical medical models, all the things saying research says do this, this is that, da da da. They're not afraid, many of them especially, are not afraid to shy away from that, and they won't shy away from trying alternative treatments. Some even go as far as saying that getting your neck thrusted can you don't need inoculations because you get your neck thrusted, and I totally disagree with that. But at the same time, there's something to be said with somebody who's willing to actually try something a little outside of the box. Because this is one thing you got to realize is a lot of these people who come into the clinics, and chiropractors and physios alike, a lot of these people coming into the clinics, they come in because they went to the doctor first, and the doctor tried those things that they knew would help, the research supported it, and often they didn't get results from it. So because they didn't get results from it, then they need to come in to the other person to do something where they can find results. And that's when you really have to, when you realize that the mainstream stuff doesn't work, when all those things that have all the science behind them don't work, it doesn't hurt. In fact, I would suggest that you try some stuff that's a little out there, even if it doesn't have much to it, because that can help. And that is one thing where often in school we're told to only follow where research says, and as a result, when you get those people where the research type stuff doesn't work, then you're back to the drawing board, and often you just don't even know what to do. But if you follow a different school of thought, and not just chiros, but even any of these alternative medicine people that have their own theories that are different from our traditional Western medicine, they got their own things, and sometimes they work. And when they do work, it's amazing. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they work. So those are three things I think physios could step it up a lot more on. Chiros actually do really well. I respect them a ton. I'm glad I'm not a chiro because I'm afraid of getting sued, but at the same time, I respect what they do. I know I'm making a ton of generalizations. I know I'm going to piss some people off in this video, but I had to say it.